Good morning, good morning. I'm here today to bring you some quick and easy breakfast ideas in the Thermomix. My name's Erin McDonald. I'm a Thermomix consultant in Perth, Western Australia, but supporting customers Australia-wide. And what I'm going to be making today is I thought I'd give a nice and easy breakfast idea. I'm going to show you how you can do a coffee in your Thermomix. I'm actually going to make a Mocha because that is my favourite. And I'm going to make some gluten-free pancakes. Because as many of you will know, I am gluten-free and I know many of my customers and followers are as well. So yeah, let's get into it and I can show you how quick and easy these recipes are. So what we're going to do with the coffee is many people have said to me they don't realise that you can froth milk in the Thermomix, that you can make a coffee in the Thermomix. I am just going to use instant today, but you can actually grind your own coffee beans in the Thermomix, which is pretty amazing. The recipe that I like to use is cappuccino by Thermo Mama, so Layla Rose. And what I've done is her recipe is on the recipe community, and I'm not sure if all of you are aware that I've got the TM6. If you have a favourite recipe on the recipe community, you can actually click on the add to cookie do button and bring it over to your TM6. So that's what I've done with this recipe. So in order to find that on my Thermomix, I'm just going to go into the menu and I'm going to click on my recipes. Oops, clicked the wrong button there. Click on created recipes. So that's where all the recipes that I've transferred over or that I've created have been in there. And I'm going to scroll down because I'm pretty sure it's near the bottom on mine. So most of these recipes that I have saved in here are my favourites because I was a TM31 owner, or still am a TM31 owner. All my favourites from the recipe community are all saved in here. So scroll down and I have got, where is it? Must be a fair bit down. There we go. Cappuccino by Thermo Mama. It's gonna be a little bit slow to load today. Here we go, start cooking. All right, so this has just got add all ingredients to the bowl and heat. So what we're going to do here is to see the ingredients, because this is one that I've imported myself. We're going to click on the, I can't remember which bit it is. There we go. Click on the little scale symbol and that's going to bring up our ingredients. So we want 300 grams of milk per serve. So I'm just going to tear off my scales there. Now I'm doing this with normal cow's milk. You can do it with whatever milk that you prefer. And I've done this dairy free as well in the past. Same with the pancakes we're going to make. I'm not doing them dairy free today, but I have done them dairy free and they work perfectly well. Instant coffee to taste. So I have just got some decaf because a girl's got to have coffee and not get the jitters. Don't know about anyone else, but that is always me when I drink too much coffees for the day. Oh, and I haven't got a teaspoon handy. Oh, here we go. Yes, I do. Right, so I'm just going to add a teaspoon of decaf. And I actually forgot about it, but what I like to do here is, because I said I do quite like a mocha, like a chocolate flavoured coffee, so I actually add like a good teaspoon of cacao as well. Sugar to taste, it's up to you. I don't generally have sugar in my tea or coffee, so I'm just going to leave that one out. Okay, so we're going to pop our lid back on. And then we've added our ingredients, heat for 4 minutes at 70 to 75, speed 3. So I'm going to go on to, the blender mode on there. I'm not sure how clear you can see this on here. So 4 minutes. 70 degrees. The good thing with the TM6 as well is that you can set your degrees specifically to whatever temp that you would like it at. And speed 4. So we're just going to let that go for a few minutes. I've got all my ingredients here ready for the pancakes, so they are all good to go. And we'll just let this cook away for a minute or two. So now we're coming to the end of our cooking time, and then once we've finished cooking, we're going to crank it up to speed 8 for about 10-20 seconds just to froth up the milk a bit. Now we've got 5 seconds left to go. Beautiful. So yeah, blending, 20 seconds it says, but see how we go, 20 seconds speed 8. Let's give it a crank up here. I'm going to get my cup out ready. There we go, that's 20 seconds. Nice and frothy coffee in there. I'm just going to pour this into my cup. Amazing. I've got a little bit of chocolate powder here that you can, oops, spilling everywhere, that I can spill it everywhere, that I can just sprinkle across the top. If I can get it out. There we go. There we go. And we've got a nice hot cappuccino made at home directly in your Thermomix. So now we're going to get onto these pancakes and breakfast will be served. So next up we've got our pancakes. The gluten-free pancake recipe that I like to make is the one by Quirky Cooking. Jo Whitten has done a fabulous recipe. It's called Pancakes 3 Ways. I think that's what it's called. You can find her for free on her website. That's the one, oops, I didn't clear out of that other recipe yet. That's a recipe that I like to make. I am going to cook that one manually because obviously it's a copyrighted recipe and I can't pop that one into my Thermomix created recipes. So I'm just going to cook this one manually. And so what we're going to do first is we're going to add 220 grams of plain flour, gluten-free plain flour. So I'm just going to scroll across to the scales. Now I have pre-measured this out just for ease. Where's my spatula? So hopefully this is all good. And what I've added into here is just the two teaspoons of baking powder that you need as well. So that's 220 grams of plain flour and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then into that, we're going to add a pinch of salt. Tear off my scales again. I'm going to add 300 grams of milk. Now again, I was saying before, I'm using normal milk today, but I have made these dairy free in the past. I'm pretty sure last time I made it with almond milk, but her recipe does suggest you can use almond milk, you can use coconut milk, you can use any different types of alternative milks that you would like. There we go. 30 grams of butter, softened butter. I'm just going to pop that in there. I would just use Nuttelex if you're making this one dairy free. Or it also does say that you can add oil in there instead. Quarter of a teaspoon of vanilla, just a splash. And 1 egg. Now it does say that the egg is optional, but I like to pop the egg in the pancakes for me because it does make them a bit fluffier. So I'm just going to add that one in there. popping our lid back on. Now we're just going to go, because we're cooking this manually, we're just going to go back out of our scales to our main manual screen, and we're going to set it for 5 seconds, speed 5. Scrape down the sides of your bowl. And another 10 seconds, speed 5. Just give that another scrape down. So you can see this is a really, really thick and delicious pancake batter. You can add a touch more milk there if you would like it. I'm going to add some blueberries in there as well, just to give it a stir around. Now these are, if you don't as yet have yourself a set of these, I highly recommend them. What these are our Thermomix vacuum seal containers. I'm working my way up to having a full fridge full of these because they're just amazing. And they keep your vegetables, fruit, cold meats really, really well sealed and contained so that they don't deteriorate quickly. I have only had these in here since yesterday. However, I have been managing to keep berries still good for almost 2 weeks in one of these, herbs for nearly 4 weeks. So they definitely do a great job. We seal out all the oxygen out of them. So I'm just going to open that one up. Oops. Unseal it, add in a handful of my berries. That should just about do it. And then for sealing them back up again, lid back on, and we're just going to use the Thermomix vacuum sealer until the little seal pops down at the front here. There we go, that's done. So they can go back in the fridge. I'm going to give these, I'll just put them aside there for a second. Give these blueberries a bit of a slow mix, just quick mix in there. And then we'll get on with making our pancakes and we'll be ready to go. And so from there, we're just going to get going with making our pancakes. So I've got my fry pan there ready to go. If I can open it, I've got a little bit of coconut oil. There we go. I'm just going to put a small amount of coconut oil in there to heat up. Very melted here in Perth today. And then we've just got our pancake batter is ready to go. There's no added sugar in this recipe. You can add sugar if you like to. I think the blueberries do tend to make it sweet enough. So I'm just going to put a good dollop of that in there. You can see I've got those big lumps of blueberries in there. And you can see how really, really thick this pancake batter is. It's just delicious. My kids really, really like the big and fluffy pancakes. And there we have it, an amazingly soft, fluffy pancakes ready to go. Delicious coffee, which I have half drunk. Bit of a squeeze of lemon juice over the top. And breakfast is ready. Tuck in.